My career started at Baylor University in Waco, Texas. I was hired as the Assistant Director of Human Resources. Well, at that time, it was actually called Personnel Services, is the way Baylor had it. And I was there, again, within about 5 years, I was promoted to Assistant Vice President for Human Resources. And as a result of the work and the value that I added to the university, the transformation, in about 5 years, I was promoted to Assistant Vice President for Human Resources. My passion was always to be a university president. It was such a blessing that I was able to get into a university, start my career at a university, and as a result, I was exposed to so many different aspects of a large institution. And what I did was, because I knew what I wanted to do, it was so important that I made sure that I was making all the right connection and building the skills necessary to position me one day to be a university president. As the president of Florida Memorial University, one thing I can say, and that is being in the role of human resources really prepared me, because no matter how you look at it in any organization, your greatest asset are your people. And to think about human resources, it taught me how to deal with people, how to lead, how to develop other people, how to work on the soft skills, the importance of networking. So it really positioned me to be in the role that I am in now. And that's the thing that I would like to say to any other individual who is aspiring to be, whether it's a vice president for human resources or director of human resources, is to really begin to develop yourself, expand your skills, know what your shortcomings are, and begin to make sure you're adding those type of skills to your repertoire, if you will. The reality is none of us get to where we are in life on our own. We have to have other people to assist us. And that's why it's so important that, again, individuals who are aspiring to move up in their careers, and that is that they have people who've been there, done that, and who can add advice and add value to them. And to talk with them and help them hone their skills in order to be excellent in the roles that they're in. So the reality is you should always have mentors, not just one, but have several mentors in your life, particularly in the areas where you want to go. And at different stages of your life, you have to have mentors who have the skills and the experience necessary to challenge you to move up in terms of where you want to go. So for me, originally, when I started out my career, I started out in the credit union, Educators Credit Union, where I was a lending officer. So I had a financial background and had the opportunity to learn a different skill set there about finances and the management of finances. And then I started working, if you will, because of the role that I had and the clients that I had as a financial officer. I had one of the superintendents in the local school district there asked me if I would come and work with him in the school district to work with the special population of students. And because of the success that I had there, that's when Baylor University reached out to me and asked me if I would come there. And that's how I got my break into human resources. Success is built on relationships. And that means you need other people. And the only way to get out and build those type of relationships is networking. So that means you have to go to various events, even sometimes things you may not think are value. It's important that you get involved. You get involved in your community. You get involved in other areas because you never know who you're going to meet in life and the people who are going to add value to you and help catapult you to the next level of success. Organizational politics is really big, and it still is something that will always be around as long as you have or major organizations. One thing that I would love to stress to anyone who is in a major organization, as well as a small one, that is, stay out of the politics. Allow integrity to manage everything that you do. And that also means sometimes speaking truth to power, but doing it respectfully, because people value that. But if you're just one who is a gossiper and you're all over the place, after a while, people will develop a sense that that is exactly what you are. You're a gossiper, and they don't see you adding value to the organization. So for those individuals who are going to move up, it is so important that you learn how to speak truth to power. You be honest, be a person of integrity, and you always try to add value and speak positively. And now there are times when you may have to admonish, but you do it respectfully at all times, no matter what. So when you go out, always remember, you're under the microscope, particularly if you're in a role of leadership. So when you're out for the social hour and people are gossiping about what went on in the office yesterday, last year, the reality is you and your role, you cannot afford to engage in those level of conversations. The future is truly, it's bright, it's beautiful. Technology is going to transform everything we do in this country. And so I think for me, that's a beauty, because it's always changing. You have to be thinking about the future. For an example, some of the things that I think about in my role as the president, and that is the students that we're producing today. I look at a lot of our degrees and I evaluate them and ask the question, are these degrees really going to be applicable for the future? Knowing where technology is going to take us, knowing that the jobs that exist now will not exist another 15 years from now. So I'm always thinking about making sure that we have degrees that are going to position students for the future careers. Let's say we have a student who just loves English. One of the things that we're trying to do is add badges and certificates for an example, maybe in computer coding, in cybersecurity, in order to allow them to gain additional skills, if you will, that will go along with their degree. Those new skills are going to allow them to be marketable. And the most important thing is the soft skills that are necessary to be successful in an organization. The critical strengths for human resources and my director and the folks in human resources to really understand what are the skills necessary for the future. And that is the soft skills, knowing how to communicate, knowing how to problem solve, knowing how to work in teams and so on and so forth, as well as the professional development, evaluating individuals to determine where there are areas of weaknesses and allowing those individuals the opportunity to gain knowledge in order to enhance their skills or hone their skills to be successful. One of the things I would like to encourage human resources leaders is to always be adaptable, always thinking ahead. And one thing you don't want to do is get stuck. And the way you get stuck is when you become traditional. And so in this day and age, it's about rapid change. It's about disruption that is going on in organizations. And if human resource leaders are not able to help lead those organizations in the midst of all this, of the disruption, then those organizations are going to suffer. The talent is going to suffer because the human resources leaders will not understand what kind of talent is necessary to keep up and help take that organization to the next level. Well, for me, there was one book I read that "What Got You Here Won't Get You There." I think it is. I don't know the exact term, but that book talks about, again, being adaptable. And I read a lot about digital change and disruption in organizations. And so I would encourage individuals, read books along those lines as well. But not only just those type of books, I think it's so important that you read a variety of books. In addition to that, the reading, though, I also encourage HR leaders to be producers of knowledge as well. And what I mean by that is that you write articles, you publish, if you will, about the things that are going on in your organizations to help others be successful. Because that really begins to then cause you to stand out as a leader, as a thought leader, if you will, and as well as a change agent. Any organization that is looking for a sound firm that develops human resources professionals, I want to encourage you to always consider right management. I tell you, Maureen and Tom Shea are just incredible professionals, thought leaders who are on the cutting edge of human resources, and they know how to go into organizations and transform those institutions. So again, let me encourage you, consider right management for any of your human resources needs.